Off the southern coast of China sits an island so large it can be seen from space. More than 400 apartment towers rise above palm-lined boulevards. Luxury hotels overlook artificial beaches. Giant museums, theme parks, marinas, shopping districts, and waterfront promenades stretch across land that did not even exist a few decades ago. At first glance, it looks like the future. But look closer. The streets are strangely quiet. Entire residential districts sit nearly empty. Thousands of apartments remain unsold or rarely occupied. And despite costing an estimated $160 billion to build, this mega island became one of the most controversial real estate projects in modern China. So how did China create the world's largest artificial island? Why did developers build an entire city in the middle of the sea? And how did one of the most ambitious construction projects ever attempted end up being called a ghost city? Today on MegaBuild HQ, we're exploring the rise, fall, and uncertain future of Ocean Flower Island.
Why China built a $160 billion city in the sea. Ocean Flower Island, also known as Haihua Island, is located off the coast of Hainan Province, China's tropical island region often compared to Hawaii. Unlike most coastal developments, this project did not expand an existing city. Engineers literally created new land from the ocean. The master plan was enormous. 3 artificial islands shaped like giant flower petals would emerge from the South China Sea. Together, they would contain luxury housing, resorts, entertainment districts, convention centers, museums, shopping centers, schools, hospitals, and transportation infrastructure designed to support hundreds of thousands of residents and visitors. The project was launched by Evergrande, once China's largest property developer. During the 2010s, China's real estate boom appeared unstoppable. Cities expanded at unprecedented speed. Developers competed to build larger, taller, and more ambitious projects. Ocean Flower Island was intended to become the ultimate symbol of that era. Rather than constructing another residential district, Evergrande wanted to build a destination that could rival Dubai's Palm Islands or Singapore's Marina Bay developments. The vision extended far beyond housing. Officials hoped the project would transform Hainan into an international tourism hub capable of attracting visitors from across Asia and beyond. Luxury hotels would welcome tourists. Theme parks would generate year-round activity. Beachfront districts would create a new lifestyle destination. Real estate sales would finance future expansion. On paper, the concept appeared almost unstoppable. But before any skyscrapers could rise above the water, engineers first had to solve a far greater challenge. They needed to build the island itself.
Creating Ocean Flower Island required one of the largest land reclamation efforts ever attempted. Before construction began, much of the site consisted of shallow coastal waters. Engineers first mapped the seabed to understand underwater geology, sediment conditions, and long-term stability requirements. Massive dredging vessels then began extracting enormous quantities of sand and fill material. The process continued for years. Millions of cubic meters of material were transported, deposited, compacted, and shaped into the island's distinctive flower petal design. But creating land is only the beginning of an artificial island project. Newly reclaimed ground often remains unstable for years. Without proper treatment, buildings can suffer from settlement, cracking, or structural movement. To prevent these problems, engineers implemented extensive ground improvement programs. Heavy surcharges were placed across sections of reclaimed land to compress underlying soils. Drainage systems accelerated consolidation. Deep foundation technologies helped transfer building loads into stronger subsurface layers. Only after the new land reached acceptable stability levels could large-scale construction begin. What followed was one of the most aggressive development programs in modern Chinese real estate history. Residential towers appeared across the skyline at remarkable speed. Hotels, commercial districts, roads, parks, and waterfront promenades emerged simultaneously. Construction cranes dominated the horizon. Entire neighborhoods were built almost at once. The island eventually featured hundreds of apartment buildings, luxury resorts, convention facilities, cultural attractions, and tourism infrastructure. Viewed from the air, Ocean Flower Island looked less like a construction project and more like a completely new city appearing from the sea. For a while, it seemed the gamble was working. Property sales surged, investors purchased apartments, Marketing campaigns promoted the island as a future global tourism destination. Then the broader real estate market began to change, and everything changed with it.
The biggest challenge facing Ocean Flower Island was never engineering, it was demand. Many buyers purchased apartments as investments rather than primary residences. Some expected prices to continue rising indefinitely. Others bought vacation properties they planned to visit only occasionally. As China's property market began slowing, that strategy became increasingly risky. Large numbers of units remained unoccupied. Entire apartment towers showed little visible activity. At the same time, maintaining a functioning city requires more than buildings. Permanent communities need jobs, schools, businesses, healthcare services, public transportation, and year-round economic activity. Building physical infrastructure is difficult. Creating a living urban ecosystem is far harder. The island also became caught in a much larger crisis surrounding Evergrande. The company accumulated enormous debt while expanding across China. As financial pressures increased, construction slowed on many projects. Investor confidence weakened. Questions emerged about long-term sustainability. Some planned developments were delayed, modified, or canceled altogether. Environmental concerns added further controversy. Authorities raised questions regarding ecological impacts associated with portions of the Reclamation project. Certain developments faced regulatory scrutiny. Public attention increasingly shifted from the island's futuristic vision to concerns about overbuilding and speculative real estate investment. International media began using a familiar phrase, "ghost city." The label spread rapidly. Drone footage showing quiet streets and partially occupied towers reinforced the narrative. Yet, the reality proved more complicated. Unlike many abandoned developments, Ocean Flower Island never became completely empty. Hotels continued operating. Tourists continued visiting. Restaurants remained open. Residents still lived there. But occupancy levels often fell far below what planners originally envisioned for a project of this scale. Instead of becoming a bustling metropolis filled with hundreds of thousands of residents, large portions of the island felt underutilized relative to the enormous investment required to create them. The result was a strange contradiction. One of the most expensive urban developments in history existed, but the population growth needed to justify it never fully arrived.
Today, Ocean Flower Island occupies a unique position in China's urban landscape. It is neither the thriving megacity envisioned by early marketing campaigns, nor the completely abandoned wasteland often portrayed online. Visitors arriving today encounter modern infrastructure, landscaped public spaces, waterfront attractions, hotels, shopping areas, and residential districts overlooking the sea. Many apartments can be rented at surprisingly low prices compared with major Chinese cities. Retirees, remote workers, budget travelers, and seasonal residents have gradually discovered the island. Some are attracted by the warm climate. Others are drawn by affordable housing costs and ocean views. The island's unusual combination of large-scale infrastructure and relatively low population density creates an environment rarely found in modern cities. Wide boulevards remain uncongested. Public spaces feel spacious. Traffic is limited. For some people, those characteristics represent failure. For others, they represent opportunity. The long-term future remains uncertain. If tourism continues growing and Hainan expands its role as an international destination, more residents and businesses could gradually arrive. Improved transportation links may strengthen regional connectivity. New investment could help activate underutilized districts. Yet, the project also serves as a powerful reminder that constructing buildings is only one part of city building. Population growth cannot simply be manufactured. Economic ecosystems cannot be poured like concrete. And even the most impressive engineering achievement cannot guarantee urban success. Ocean Flower Island demonstrates what happens when engineering ambition collides with economic reality. Engineers successfully created one of the largest artificial islands ever built. Developers filled it with hundreds of apartment towers, luxury resorts, and massive infrastructure projects. From a construction perspective, the achievement remains extraordinary, but cities are ultimately judged by the people who live inside them. And that is where the story becomes far more complicated. Today, Ocean Flower Island stands as both a remarkable engineering accomplishment and a cautionary lesson about the limits of mega development. It shows that building a city is not the same as creating a community, and sometimes the hardest part of a billion-dollar project begins only after construction ends. What do you think? Could Ocean Flower Island still become the thriving coastal city its developers imagined? Or will it remain one of the world's most expensive examples of overbuilding? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy stories about mega projects, engineering megastructures, and the technologies reshaping our world, subscribe to MegaBuild HQ for more.